Is Uber's surge multiplier coming back?
Xbox, Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, Movie Pass,
Google,
eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, wait a minute. Feels like I'm forgetting something today. Something today. What is to... Oh no. Place. Okay, so I think this is a good place. No one around. So anyway, hi honey. Look, I know tradition's tradition, and I know you like it and all that, but can we not do the red Santa hat this year? It's getting a little old, I think.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Because we got new ones. Woohoo! Yay!
Does this have a cape?
Yep. Batman.
So, yeah, I guess this is what's going to happen for the next 25 days of December. I mean, tradition's tradition, I know. This is ridiculous, but oh well. The things you do for the people you love. So anyway, I know we're kind of late getting started. I'm sorry, but we just have to throw out the obligatory self-promotion. If it's your first time here and you happen to like what you see, please subscribe, ring that bell notification, all that jazz. So anyway, let's talk about Uber Surge. I haven't talked about Uber Surge in a while. So for those of you who've been driving for a while, you might know that Surge was basically kind of the driver's best friend, you know. I think you could make good money on Uber back then. You could really make good money if you optimized the Surge really well, like I did. Like back then, I'm not going to lie, I didn't drive full time, but I made full-time money. I averaged $40 to $50 an hour and relatively easy. I lived near a place where it surged all the time. I knew when it popped up, I knew how to maximize it, and I'd get lucky more than once because I lived in an area where people do hour-long trips on, 5 to 7 times surges sometimes. So, especially on like New Year's Day, Eve and stuff like that, oh boy, you could clean up. But then Uber had to change it to that stupid little, well, it's called a penny surge, as we're about to find out from some people. But it was the flat surge where it was like, Anyway, I don't need to explain the surge again. But here's the thing. A lot of people have said that they would prefer the old surge. And according to the Rideshare Guy blog, it's come back, sort of. So this is from the senior Rideshare Guy contributor, Sergio Avedian. Although before we get to there, I should mention Harry Campbell. I noticed you subscribed to me recently. Thank you so much, buddy. Glad to have you aboard. If you get constant notifications, it's not spam. It's me uploading on a pretty much daily basis. But hey, thanks for joining us. Anyway, so we're going to look a little bit at this. We're not going to look at the whole article. Of course, as always, the full article is below. But it says, over the past year, I have started driving less and less for Uber and Lyft. Fewer than 20 hours a week total. And we can all guess what the reason is. Rate deductions, of course. Last one in March of 2019 in Los Angeles to the tune of 10% have taken a toll on my pocketbook. Even with all the strategies I deploy, I can't duplicate the good old days of averaging over $40 to $45 an hour on app. Yeah, and I agree. Now, some people might point out, other people who made all this money doing Uber and Lyft. And it's like, yeah, look, I'm not saying you can't make money doing it, but what you have to put in, and once you factor in, it's like way, way less. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of that movie Get Rich or Die Trying with 50 Cent. I know. Not a great movie, but it had a very interesting point where it's like, the guy was talking about how people think that selling drugs is like a great job because you make like a lot of money. But when you factor in the time that you're in jail, the time you're on the run, the time you can't do anything, it really averages out to like a minimum wage job in the long run, like because of all the time you end up doing. So, and that's kind of Uber driving. I mean, with the dead time, the wear and tear, it's an average job. Like you're basically getting a slightly better than minimum wage job. And he acknowledges this, by the way. So, but here's the thing. But that said, he still manages to crack the $30 barrier easily. He says, I'm a surge-only, mostly driver, which is how I used to be when I drove. Always have been, and Uber is still my preferred rideshare company when I decide to get on the road and drive over Lyft. The following screenshots are from Monday, November 18th, 2019. So here's there's Lyft, and there's Uber. And so, not too bad. I mean, about $39 an hour. And he points out that there's different different metrics you can use to. But here's what was interesting when he was driving that day. A new discovery or glitch. For some reason, Uber has increased their consecutive ride bonus in Los Angeles over the past couple of months to the point of making it worthwhile for me to get out and drive. This week, as seen on the Uber earnings summary screenshot above, I had 3 CRBs for $12.50 on Monday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I wanted to take advantage of it, but I was also leery about thousands of drivers taking the bait and getting on the road and possibly suppressing the morning rush hour surge numbers. However, I had a scheduled ride on Lyft lined up already to take me to LAX early in the morning, so I decided to drive a few hours. I have many habits I've developed when I drive when I'm out on autopilot. One of them is not trusting the Uber ping screen since it only lasts 8 to 10 seconds. What I do is once I accept a ride, I immediately go to the passenger menu screen by tapping the 3 dots/lines in the lower right-hand corner of the app. Then the next screen on the 3 dots next to the passenger name and get to the main menu with all the information. And double check if the surge amount that came with the ping screen is the same as the passenger menu screen and take a screenshot of it on my way to pickup in case Uber reneges on the deal. Now, by the way, this is not a terrible strategy. It's something that is very time consuming, but probably very much worth your time to actually do. Because Uber will renege on paying you surge many, many times. Trust me, I've gotten comments on people say, I got this surge and then Uber didn't pay and they said it wasn't surge. You want to do this. This is a great trick, by the way. This way I have proof to argue with Uber customer service representative and chase my money. So he's obviously blocking things out. This is what he's doing. He's kind of showing the process. But here's something interesting. See, that's a $2 surge. So you can report the issue. There you go. And no, I don't want a free ride shares guide. I already have the book. So this is where it got interesting. Because he went to looked at one of the rides, and he saw this. This is the old surge multiplier. Very odd. Like, most of the time, when you have the flat surge, this is what it is. It just tells you a dollar amount. But now you have the multiplier, and that's where he's getting the fare plus 1.6 times. Honestly, the surge multiplier was very easy to figure out. Uber claims it was difficult. It wasn't. It really wasn't. It was very easy to figure out. It's like, did you get through second or third grade multiplication? I forgot what grade they taught that in, but whatever the earliest grade multiplication you got through, you can figure out the multiplier. So anyway, here's his take, and this is always the interesting part of the article. Like, I always recommend reading a full Rideshare Guy article. It's very detailed, but if you ever want like the cliff notes and the summary, my take is the most important part on this blog you want to look at. So here's what his take is. So what's going on here? How can a passenger be paying surge, but the driver map doesn't show any surge? Then, once you accept the ride at base rates, you get surprised with a 1.6 surge reward. I don't think this is a glitch. I think it is Uber's way of hiding more information from the driver to try and get them to accept more base fares. Otherwise, why would they send out a base ping to a driver without showing the surge multiplier on the ping screen like they used to? Receiving extra surges on rides is totally random, up to the grace of the algorithm. Like, up to the grace of God, it's up to the grace of the algorithm. For all I know, it could be related to the driver's rating. Uber's take rate as a percentage of the total fare, acceptance rate, cancellation rate, seniority, ride count, etc. I thought the way Uber sold the penny surge was that it would be easier to understand, longer lasting, and more predictable. There's nothing predictable about this, because that's the thing. Uber always says it's going to be easier, trust us, it's going to be less confusing, and yet it's always more confusing. I mean, hey, look at how many articles they've written on this one topic. How many times I keep talking about it when surge should be super simple. In fact, if they really wanted to simplify the surge multiplier, you didn't need to go to a flat rate. You didn't. You know what you need to do? You just have to make it, hey, instead of this little in between, like instead of having like a 1.1, 1.2, it's always multiply by 1 time, multiply by 2 times, multiply by 3 times. Just make it a round multiplier number. Simple math, easy to figure out. But, you know, then they couldn't get price gouge the passengers, could they? So, it is a lot less transparent. The driver now is totally in the dark regarding his or her total surge pay. Other than the base mile and minutes rate in their city and the possible penny surge bonus, driver does not know what her final take for that ride will be when they accept the request. If I was going for the CRB that day, I definitely would have passed on both pings, and I certainly would have lost out. Is this Uber's way of basically forcing drivers to accept base pings in the middle of surge zones? Possibly. Uber will do any shady thing they can to get you to accept as many rides as possible, every single ride, preferably. As we all know, Uber is trying to pivot from a top-line growth story to a profitability story. Because, yeah, that's the next logical step. I mean, yep, you can grow. We know you can light money on fire, but can you actually bring it in? I think their revenue percentage per booking has dramatically improved since they rolled out the penny surge, flat rate surge nationwide. Between upfront pricing and penny surge, they have totally decoupled what the passenger pays and what the driver receives. Here's a ride I was happy to take with an $8.25 penny surge bonus, but even with that, take a look at what they charge the passenger for an 8-mile ride. Almost $38. Uber's RPB on this ride was almost 50%. That is about $4.50 a mile, certainly more than the $2.75 a mile cabs charge in Los Angeles. Uber ripping the passenger off also reduces my chances of getting a tip. So yeah, this has always been like a problem. I've been talking about this for a long time. Amazingly, some people, you know, and some people have personal reasons, of course. I don't want to throw everyone under the bus, but yet people do it. And some people know they're getting screwed, and they choose to be screwed. I don't know. So here's the thing. This is a long article, but yeah, it's kind of fascinating to see what's going on. But I like this. Like Forrest Gump said, driving for Uber is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So I know when you clicked on the title of this, what you wanted to get. You wanted a story of me saying, hey, this multiplier is coming back. You definitely want this to become the normal as opposed to this. This people don't like. This people do like. They like this very much. But I don't think that's going to happen unless, and here's what's, unless, of course, Uber decides that they want to gouge the passenger from another angle. In fact, here's the thing. If the multiplier comes back on a nationwide basis, here's what's probably going to happen. They're probably going to say something like, we've listened to the driver, we're reintroducing the surge multiplier. We want to be fair, we want to be transparent. They might even do that number roundup thing, like, hey, if it's a 1.6 surge, we'll just round it up. But if it's like a 1.4, we'll round it down. Here's the thing. They will probably be charging the passenger like 2 times surge. So as long as Uber and Lyft can charge the customer one thing while paying the driver something else, that's what they will do. So they might even be soft testing this new surge multiplier. I don't think it's like a totally random algorithm thing. I think they're testing the water, seeing how people react to it. See if maybe that gets more drivers to accept. On the other hand, This guy's rides, he didn't seem to be aware that he got them until after he accepted the rides or something. It's very weird. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to this right now. But I suspect maybe Uber is planning a slow but triumphant return of the surge multiplier. However, keep in mind, if you get a 3.4, chances are the passenger is getting charged a 4.8. Thus, you probably will not get too many tips. However, hey, it's Christmas. Who knows? Maybe like the 108 is a change, Uber will surprise us and give us some wonderful Christmas gifts. So I'd like to know, what do all of you think about this? Do you agree with this? What do you think this is all about? Read the article, comment below, and share with me what you think is going on. Because even this guy's quite confused, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. But yeah, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy these videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check out my other channels, Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur Vlogs, and Autograph Hound. And finally, if you want to talk to me and other fellow rideshare drivers, check us out at Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. You know, now I think about it, I love my wife, but what inspired her to pick this as the hat this year?
Dark Road Run, thank you so much for the superhero hat idea.
It's the least I can do after Kevin's comments about the chicken suit and Uber headquarters stunt that I did. But yeah, next time I'm going to make that video work.